Gentlemen, it's a pleasure meeting you, first of all, and what an amazing film. The reason I love behind the scenes or bonus features on home entertainment releases is you really get to see a first dive process of how all this works, and you guys collaborated on this. We're almost like the scientists in the film by making some of these things that you made. Andrew, Christopher Nolan's films often feature practical effects and a commitment to realism. How did you collaborate with him to maintain the approach while incorporating the visual effects in storytelling that we see in Oppenheimer?
Well, the visual effects component is only used when we can't actually shoot the thing and just cut it straight into the film, which we did for a lot of the effects on the film. And so that sort of collaboration with Scott is really important, that we find ways of actually filming all of the effects and the images that are required for the story in camera. And so, yeah, the visual effects really only comes into play when the thing that we filmed is not usable exactly as it was filmed, and then we're compositing and layering up multiple layers. Some of the shots in the film did use dozens of layers and very complex composites, but there's also probably half of the effects shots in the film needed no work at all in post-production.
Scott, Christopher Nolan emphasizes practical effects over CG. How do you collaborate with him to maintain the practical approach while still achieving the desired look of Oppenheimer?
Well, luckily we've done enough shows with Chris where he's kind of, we know that's the language that he's looking for, and he looks at Andrew and I as one department. There's not really two separate kind of visual effects and special effects. So we kind of just put our heads together and we go from, he supports it. That's what he wants to do. So he's like, if you guys can work it out and do it, and even if it's kind of tricky or cumbersome on set, he's willing to do it because he knows the benefit he gets later on in the film.
Now, what were some of the most challenging aspects of bringing some of this stuff to life?
I guess mostly the discovery phase, right?
Yeah. Actually, that's what I've been saying quite a lot.
Yeah.
It's like the images that are required on the screen are not described in the script.
Right.
It really came to both of us to find the thing that we needed to film rather than being told exactly what it was. So that was a challenge, but it was also a really exciting part of the process because he gives us a lot of freedom to experiment, and he's really open to whatever we come up with. Well, not whatever, but
Yeah.
we have this sort of process where we'll do an experimental stage and then we'll show him like we'll film what our tests were, and we'll discuss which things were working, which to develop further, and which ones would, we just stop right there on that one. So there's a combination of like real freedom and encouraged to experiment, and then collaboratively kind of developing the ones that were successful.
Scott, special effect technology continues to advance. Can you discuss innovative techniques that were used on Oppenheimer that you kind of created for this film specifically?
I think it's mostly that. It's just trying to really figure out the ways of doing it without visual effects. I mean, that's kind of, or not without visual effects, sure, without CGI and with minimal visual effects, because no one takes that approach. That's solely Chris that would present that idea, and then have you continue down that road without giving up. I think so many filmmakers give up quite quickly, once you get into that.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who have the idea that they want to shoot everything on camera, and then on the day, oh yeah, that's going to be a bit hard. Let's just do that bit in post, or that's a very common approach.
Well, look, you guys did such a phenomenal job. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.